Fear is one of the most powerful forces in life. It grips us, paralyzes us, and keeps us confined within the walls of what feels safe and comfortable. It whispers doubts in our ears, telling us we are not good enough, not strong enough, not ready enough. But the truth is, fear is an illusion. It is a shadow cast by the unknown, a trick of the mind designed to protect us, but often used to imprison us. To grow, to achieve, to break free from the chains that bind us, we must do one thing above all else: force ourselves to push through fear. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a great precipice. Below lies a vast unknown, filled with possibility but also uncertainty. Your heart races, your breath quickens, and your mind screams to retreat to solid ground. That moment, that second, is where true courage is born. It is the moment you decide that fear will not dictate your life, that fear will not hold the pen writing your story. You push forward, step by step, into the unknown, and with every step you take, the power of fear diminishes. The first step to forcing yourself through fear is to acknowledge it. Fear hides behind excuses, behind procrastination, behind distractions. It disguises itself in comfort, convincing you that safety is better than risk. But the paradox is this: safety often leads to stagnation. Growth demands discomfort. If you never step outside your comfort zone, you will never truly know what you are capable of. The magic happens when you stare fear in the eye and say, "I will not let you stop me." Every great success story, every story of triumph, involves fear. It is not the absence of fear that defines heroes, but the presence of fear and the decision to act anyway. Fear is a natural response to stepping into the unknown, but it is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to prepare, to focus, and to move forward with intention. When you feel the grip of fear, use it as a signal that you are on the right path, that you are about to grow in ways you never imagined. To force yourself to push through fear, you must build resilience. Resilience is the muscle that grows stronger the more you use it. Each time you face fear head on and push forward, you become more capable of handling the next challenge. The more you retreat from fear, the weaker your resolve becomes. It's a simple truth: courage is a habit, not a trait. The brave are not born fearless. They are forged in the fire of repeated challenges and choices. Start small if you need to. Pushing through fear does not always mean giant leaps. Sometimes it means small, consistent steps forward. Each small victory over fear builds momentum. Each time you do what scares you just a little, your confidence grows. Fear begins to lose its power when you refuse to let it control your actions. You begin to realize that the feeling of fear is temporary, but the pride and growth that come from pushing through it last forever. It's also essential to understand that fear is often based on imagined outcomes, worst-case scenarios that have not happened and may never happen. Our minds have a tendency to exaggerate threats, creating stories that paralyze us before we even try. When fear comes knocking, challenge it. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? And then ask, how likely is that really? Often, the answer is far less frightening than your mind made it seem. You gain power over fear when you expose it to the light of reality. Another powerful way to push through fear is to focus on your purpose and your why. When you have a clear reason that burns inside you, fear becomes secondary. Purpose fuels perseverance. When your desire to achieve, to become, to grow outweighs your fear, nothing can stop you. Remember, fear is temporary, but the regret of not trying lasts forever. Let your dreams and goals be stronger than your fears. Surround yourself with support. Fear often thrives in isolation, feeding on doubt and negativity. When you share your goals and fears with others, you bring accountability and encouragement into your life. Find mentors, friends, or communities that believe in you and push you to be your best. Sometimes knowing someone else believes in you can give you the strength to believe in yourself. It's also crucial to be kind to yourself. Fear can bring harsh self-criticism, telling you that you are weak or unworthy. This inner voice is a liar. Everyone feels fear, everyone struggles. What matters is not that you feel fear, but what you choose to do with it. Celebrate your courage every time you push through, no matter how small the victory. Self-compassion fuels resilience. When you force yourself to push through fear, you rewrite your identity. You shift from being a person controlled by fear to someone who controls fear. This transformation opens doors to opportunities you never imagined. Fear loses its power over your decisions. You become unstoppable, a force of nature moving steadily toward your goals, no matter the obstacles. Visualize your future self, the person who has already pushed through the fear and succeeded. What does that person look like? How do they act? What do they believe? Use this vision as a beacon to guide you through moments of doubt. The future you is waiting on the other side of fear, ready to live a life filled with purpose, confidence, and freedom. Remember, fear is not the enemy. It is a signpost pointing you toward growth. Each time you force yourself to push through fear, you take one step closer to the person you are meant to be. Life rewards the brave. Success belongs to those who refuse to let fear stop them. It is within you to rise above, to face the shadows, and to move forward with courage. The journey will not be easy. There will be setbacks, moments when fear feels overwhelming, when your mind screams to give up. But in those moments, dig deep, remind yourself why you started. Remember that every step forward, no matter how difficult, is a victory over fear. Your persistence will build a legacy of courage that inspires others. One of the most powerful tools to push through fear is action. Fear fades in the presence of movement. When you act, no matter how imperfectly, you take control away from fear. Waiting for fear to disappear before you start is a trap that leads to paralysis. Instead, act despite fear. Action creates momentum, and momentum breaks down walls. Build habits that support courage. Create routines that challenge you to step outside your comfort zone regularly. Read books, listen to stories of those who have faced fear and won. Feed your mind with positive affirmations. These habits will build a foundation of strength that makes fear less daunting over time. Embrace failure as part of the process. Fear often stems from the possibility of failing, but failure is not the end. It is a teacher. Every failure brings lessons, wisdom, and resilience. When you stop fearing failure, you free yourself to try boldly, to innovate, to grow. The path to success is paved with failures turned into stepping stones. Surround your mind with courage. Replace fear-based thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of "I can't," say "I will try." Instead of "What if I fail?" ask "What if I succeed?" Your thoughts shape your reality. Master your mindset, and you master fear. Let gratitude guide you through fear. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, fear loses its grip. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you of your strengths, your support, and your capacity to overcome. Push yourself to face fear repeatedly. Like any skill, courage improves with practice. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. What once seemed terrifying becomes manageable. Fear shrinks in the light of consistent action. Celebrate your journey. Acknowledge every victory over fear. These moments build your confidence and remind you that you are stronger than you think. Use them as fuel to keep moving forward. Remember, fear does not define you. Your actions define you. Choose to act courageously, and you rewrite your story. You become the author of a life lived boldly, richly, and fully. So when fear comes, do not run. Do not hide. Stand tall. Take a deep breath and push forward. Force yourself to move through fear, because on the other side is the life you've been dreaming of, the life you deserve. You have within you an unstoppable power, the power to face fear and keep going. Harness that power. Use it every day. Let fear be your signal to act, to grow, to become more than you ever imagined. The world is waiting for the person you will become once you push through fear. When you push through fear, you unlock a power inside that changes everything. Fear is a signal, yes, but it's also a doorway. Beyond that doorway lies your greatest potential. Every moment you spend letting fear hold you back is a moment stolen from your future. You owe it to yourself to step through that door, even if it feels shaky or uncertain. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. Think about the times you've felt fear before. May be before an important conversation, a job interview, a new opportunity, or a challenge that seemed too big. Remember how, if you pushed through that fear, you came out stronger, more confident, more alive. Each time you face fear, you build evidence in your life that fear can be overcome. Those experiences become the proof that fear does not control you. Imagine a world where fear never held you back. What would you do? Who would you become? The only thing standing between you and that world is the choice to push forward despite fear. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. What once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Fear tries to convince you that you need permission to act, that you must wait for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. Fear will always show up at every new stage. Waiting for fear to disappear is like waiting for the storm to pass while standing in the rain. Instead, you learn to dance in the rain, to move forward even as fear rumbles inside you. One way to force yourself to push through fear is to change how you relate to it. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, see it as a compass. Fear points toward what matters most to you. If something scares you, it probably means that if you succeed, your life will change. It means you are about to grow. When you feel that tightness in your chest or the rapid heartbeat, remind yourself, this means you are on the edge of something great. To build your courage muscle, create a daily ritual of doing something that scares you, even in a small way. It might be speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to a new contact, trying a new workout, or starting a project that feels risky. The key is consistency. Over time, these small acts build your resilience and make fear less frightening. You begin to see that it's not as powerful as it once seemed. Visualization is another powerful tool. Spend time imagining yourself succeeding despite fear. Picture the steps you'll take, the challenges you might face, and how you'll overcome them. See yourself standing tall, calm, and confident on the other side of fear. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain and strengthens your resolve. When the real moment comes, your mind has already practiced courage. Remember that fear often masks itself as comfort or certainty. Staying in your comfort zone feels safe, but it is often a prison disguised as a sanctuary. It limits your growth and your potential. When you push through fear, you break free of those walls and open yourself up to possibility. You become alive in a way that comfort can never give you. It's also important to keep your goals visible and clear. Write them down. Create reminders that keep your purpose in front of you. When fear shows up, look at those goals and ask yourself if you are willing to let fear stop you from what you want most. This clarity helps sharpen your focus and strengthen your commitment. In your journey, you will encounter fear disguised as doubt and criticism, not just from others but from within. That inner critic will try to convince you that you are not worthy, that you are not ready. Challenge that voice. Replace those negative thoughts with affirmations of your strength and potential. Remind yourself that every expert started as a beginner. Every success story began with a single step taken through fear. When fear threatens to freeze you, use your body to break the spell. Movement, even small, can reset your nervous system. Take a walk, do some stretches, or practice deep breathing. Physical action creates a shift that helps calm the mind and makes it easier to face fear. Your body and mind are connected. Feed both with courage. Surround yourself with stories of courage. Read biographies, watch documentaries, listen to podcasts about people who have faced fear and succeeded. Their stories will inspire you, remind you that you are not alone, and give you practical ideas for your own journey. Courage is contagious, and exposure to it strengthens your own. Remember, pushing through fear doesn't mean you won't feel afraid. It means you won't let fear stop you. The feeling of fear is natural and even necessary. it keeps you alert and aware. But you are the one who decides what to do with that feeling. Will you retreat, or will you move forward? Failures and setbacks are inevitable on this path, but each one is a lesson, a stepping stone. When fear tells you to give up because of a failure, remind yourself that failure is simply feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. The greatest successes in history are built on a foundation of failures that were never accepted as final. Celebrate your progress, even when it feels small. Each time you push through fear, no matter how small the action, you build momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. Once it builds, it carries you forward with less effort. The key is to keep moving, one step at a time. A vital part of forcing yourself to push through fear is patience. Growth takes time. Courage doesn't appear overnight. It is cultivated through daily choices, through persistence, through showing up even when you don't feel ready. Be patient with yourself. Trust the process. Let go of perfectionism. Fear often feeds on the desire to do everything perfectly, but perfection is an illusion. Waiting for perfect conditions is a way fear convinces you to stay stuck. Embrace imperfection. Take imperfect action. Action trumps perfection every time. Another powerful way to break through fear is to serve others. When you focus on how your courage and your actions can help or inspire someone else, fear loses its grip. Service shifts your focus from self, doubt to contribution. It reminds you that your actions matter beyond yourself. When fear threatens to overwhelm, practice grounding yourself in the present moment. Fear lives in the future. It is worry about what might happen. But the present moment is your power. Use mindfulness, breathing, or simply observing your surroundings to bring your attention back to now. From this place, you can make clear, courageous choices. Setbacks will come, but do not let them define you. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the refusal to quit. When you fall, get up. When fear screams louder, speak courage even louder. When your legs feel weak, remind yourself why you started. Your commitment to push through fear will carry you beyond what you thought possible. Use affirmations and mantras to reinforce your courage. Repeat phrases like, "I am stronger than my fear," or "Fear is temporary, my dreams are forever," or "I choose courage." These words shape your mindset and create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your resolve. Visual reminders can also help. Create a courage board with quotes, images, and goals that inspire you. Place it somewhere you see every day. When fear tries to hold you back, look at those reminders and draw strength from them. Keep a journal of your courage journey. Write down your fears, your victories, your lessons. This practice builds awareness and reinforces your progress. On difficult days, reread your journal to remember how far you've come. Push through fear by embracing uncertainty. Fear hates uncertainty because it thrives on the need for control. Life is uncertain. Trying to control everything is exhausting and impossible. When you accept uncertainty, you free yourself to take risks. You become adaptable and open to possibilities. Find role models who embody courage, learn from them, reach out if you can. Seeing courage in action gives you a blueprint to follow and the encouragement to keep going. When fear tells you that you are alone, remind yourself that fear is a universal experience. Everyone faces fear. The difference is who chooses to act anyway. You are part of a community of brave souls who refuse to let fear stop them. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your mindset from fear and scarcity to abundance and possibility. It reminds you of your strengths, your support system, and your past victories. When you are grateful, fear loses its intensity. Create a plan for when fear shows up. Decide in advance how you will respond. Having a strategy reduces the power fear has over you. Your plan might include deep breathing, positive affirmations, reaching out to a friend, or taking immediate action. Remember that courage is a choice, made again and again. It is not a one-time event. Each day you can choose to act courageously. Each moment you can decide to push through fear. Fear is the price you pay for growth. It is the guard at the gate of your dreams. You have the key. Your courage, use it. As you continue this journey of pushing through fear, it's important to remember that fear can take many shapes. Sometimes it's loud and obvious, a pounding heart, sweaty palms, a knot in your stomach. Other times it's quiet and subtle, like hesitation, procrastination, or that persistent voice telling you maybe later, or it's not for you. Recognizing fear in all its forms is the first step to overcoming it. The moment you identify fear creeping in, you have the power to respond differently. Let me share with you a truth that many successful people have learned the hard way. Fear doesn't vanish by ignoring it or wishing it away. It only loses power when you face it head on. Imagine fear as a shadow. When you shine a light directly on it, the shadow disappears. Your light is action, your determination, your refusal to be controlled by fear. This is how you force yourself through fear, by refusing to give it the space to grow. Consider the stories of the world's greatest achievers. They all faced fear, they all felt doubt. What set them apart was their choice to keep moving forward. J.K. Rowling, before publishing Harry Potter, faced rejection after rejection. Oprah Winfrey overcame a difficult childhood and numerous setbacks before becoming one of the most influential voices in the world. Elon Musk faced multiple near failures before revolutionizing multiple industries. Each of these individuals could have allowed fear to stop them. Instead, they pushed through it, and their persistence changed history. You too have that power within you. The same human spirit that allowed others to overcome fear lives in you. You are no different. Your fears are not unique, and your capacity to overcome them is just as strong. The key is to lean into that power, to train yourself to act despite fear. One of the most effective ways to push through fear is to break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. When a goal seems massive and intimidating, fear naturally rises. But when you divide it into bite-sized pieces, each step becomes achievable. Focus on what you can do right now. Take the next small action, then the next. Step by step, you build progress and confidence. Fear loses its grip as you realize you can handle what's in front of you. It's also essential to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. Anticipate fear and plan your response. Before a big challenge, visualize yourself succeeding despite fear. Prepare affirmations that boost your confidence. Have a support system in place, friends, mentors, or coaches who can encourage you. Preparation doesn't eliminate fear, but it gives you tools to manage it effectively. When fear strikes, remind yourself that discomfort is a sign of growth. Growth always feels uncomfortable at first. Think about learning to ride a bike. At first you fell, scraped your knees, and felt scared. But as you kept going, the discomfort faded, replaced by confidence and freedom. The same applies to any area of your life where fear is holding you back. The pain of growth is temporary. The reward of courage is lasting. It's okay to feel fear. Don't beat yourself up for it. Instead, use that feeling as fuel. Transform that nervous energy into motivation. When you feel your heart pounding, tell yourself it means you care deeply and are ready to rise to the occasion. When your mind races with doubts, remind yourself that it's just your brain trying to keep you safe, but you are bigger than that. One powerful technique to overcome fear is the practice of exposure. This means gradually exposing yourself to the things that scare you. Each exposure builds your confidence and desensitizes you to fear. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking up in small groups, then larger groups, and eventually to audiences. With each step, your fear diminishes and your courage grows. Another key is to keep your focus on what you can control. Fear often comes from worrying about outcomes beyond your control. You cannot control every variable in life, but you can control your actions and your attitude. Concentrate on your effort and your mindset. By focusing on what's within your power, you reduce anxiety and increase your ability to push through fear. Surround yourself with positivity and inspiration. The environment you create matters. Fill your space with reminders of courage. Quotes, images, books, or music that inspire you. Engage with people who uplift and challenge you. Distance yourself from negativity and fear-mongers who drain your energy. Celebrate the small wins. Every time you choose courage over fear, no matter how small, you build momentum. Recognize these moments and reward yourself. This positive reinforcement makes it easier to face the next challenge. Remember the power of purpose. Your why is the engine that drives you forward. When fear threatens to stop you, reconnect with your purpose. Why do you want this goal? What will it mean for you and those you love? Purpose makes fear shrink in comparison to the burning desire to achieve. Fear can sometimes be overwhelming, and that's okay. When it feels like too much, take a moment to breathe deeply and ground yourself. Focus on the present moment. Fear is future-focused, worrying about what might happen. Bringing your attention back to now calms your nervous system and gives you clarity. One of the most transformative realizations is that pushing through fear is a lifelong journey. There will always be new fears, new challenges. The difference is in how you respond. Each time you face fear and push through, you build a foundation of strength that prepares you for the next challenge. Know that you are not alone in this. Everyone struggles with fear. Everyone doubts themselves. What sets people apart is their willingness to act anyway. When you act despite fear, you join a community of brave souls who have refused to be stopped. Your courage will inspire others. By pushing through your fears, you become a beacon of hope and possibility. Your actions show others that fear can be overcome. Your journey creates ripples that extend far beyond your own life. As you push through fear, be patient and kind with yourself. There will be days when fear feels stronger. There will be moments of doubt. That's normal. What matters is your commitment to keep going. Treat yourself with compassion and encouragement. You deserve your own support as much as anyone else's. Use setbacks as learning opportunities. Fear often tells us that failure is the end, but failure is simply feedback. Each setback teaches you something valuable about yourself, your process, and your goals. Embrace these lessons and use them to grow stronger. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your mindset from fear and scarcity to abundance and possibility. It reminds you of your strengths, your support system, and your progress. When you cultivate gratitude, fear loses some of its power. Finally, remember that your life is a gift and your potential is unlimited. Fear is a part of the journey, but it does not define you. You are defined by your courage, your resilience, and your willingness to act in spite of fear. So stand up, take a deep breath, feel the fear, and push forward anyway. You have everything you need inside you. The world is waiting for the person you will become when you force yourself to push through fear. To push through fear, you must cultivate an unshakable belief in yourself. This belief is the foundation on which courage is built. It's what keeps you moving forward when the path is uncertain and the odds seem stacked against you. This belief does not come from luck or talent alone. It comes from consistent effort, from facing your fears again and again until you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws your way. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool. It can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Fear often thrives on the stories you tell yourself, stories of "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "this is too hard." It's time to rewrite those stories. Tell yourself instead, "I am capable," "I am strong," "I am learning and growing every day." Affirmations alone won't do the work, but combined with action, they change how you see yourself and how you approach challenges. When you push through fear, you step into a new version of yourself. Every courageous act reshapes your identity. You become someone who does not back down, who meets obstacles head on, who grows stronger with each challenge. This new identity is powerful. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that shapes your future success. Sometimes the fear you face is the fear of failure. Failure is one of the most common fears because it touches our sense of worth and security. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. The most successful people have failed many times. What separates them is their refusal to quit. They learn from failure, adjust, and try again. Failure is feedback, a teacher, a stepping stone on your path. When you embrace failure instead of fearing it, you take away its power. Another form of fear is the fear of judgment, the fear of what others might think if you try and fail. This fear can be paralyzing, but here's a truth. People are usually more focused on themselves than on judging you. Even if someone does judge you, their opinion does not define your worth or your potential. When you push through this fear, you reclaim your freedom to live authentically and boldly. It's also essential to develop a mindset of curiosity rather than fear. When you approach challenges with curiosity, you shift from "what if I fail" to "what can I learn from this?" This mindset turns fear into a question, an opportunity to explore, experiment, and discover. Curiosity opens the door to growth and innovation. To push through fear, you need to build a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who lift you up when you feel low. Share your goals and fears with trusted friends, mentors, or coaches. Their encouragement will fuel your courage and remind you of your strengths when fear tries to convince you otherwise. Self-care is also crucial. When you are physically and emotionally healthy, you have more energy and resilience to face fear. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, exercise, and activities that bring you joy and peace. When you feel balanced, fear loses its ability to overwhelm you. Remember to celebrate your bravery. Every time you push through fear, honor that moment. Reflect on what you did, how it felt, and what you learned. Celebrating courage reinforces your progress and builds confidence for future challenges. Sometimes the fear you face is not just external but internal, the fear of your own potential. This fear can be sneaky because it disguises itself as comfort or safety. It whispers that you should stay small, avoid risk, and settle for less. But your potential is vast. It is waiting to be unleashed. To push through this fear, you must commit to your growth and refuse to let self-doubt hold you back. Setbacks and difficult moments will come. When they do, remind yourself why you started. Return to your purpose, your passion, your vision. Let these be your anchors in the storm. The storms are temporary, but your purpose is permanent. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your focus from fear to abundance. It reminds you of the good in your life and the progress you've made. When you cultivate gratitude, fear loses some of its power. Use visualization to see your success clearly. Spend time each day imagining yourself succeeding despite fear. Feel the emotions, the pride, the joy. This practice trains your brain to expect success and prepares you emotionally for challenges. Take responsibility for your life. Fear often thrives when we feel powerless. Remember, you have the power to choose your actions, your thoughts, and your attitude. Taking responsibility empowers you to push through fear and create the life you want. Develop patience. Growth and courage take time. Be gentle with yourself. Every step forward counts, even if it feels slow. Progress is progress. Keep learning and growing. Each new skill, each new experience builds your confidence and reduces fear. Embrace a mindset of lifelong learning. Trust yourself. You have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. You have overcome fear before and can do it again. Trust your inner strength and wisdom. Lastly, remember that pushing through fear is a gift to yourself and to the world. When you face your fears and move forward, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage lights the way for those around you. You have everything you need to succeed. You are stronger than your fears. Fear will never completely disappear. That is simply part of being human. What changes is your relationship with it. Instead of fear being a wall that stops you, it becomes a signal, a challenge, a call to action. When fear shows up, lean in. Welcome it as a messenger telling you that you're on the edge of growth, on the brink of something new and important. This mindset shift transforms fear from an enemy into a catalyst. Every great achievement in history started with someone feeling fear and choosing to move forward anyway. The person who dared to invent the airplane, start a business, write a book, or stand up for justice did not lack fear. They had it just like you do. What made the difference was their refusal to let fear control their destiny. Ask yourself this: what would happen if you stopped letting fear dictate your choices? How much more could you accomplish? How much more joy, freedom, and fulfillment could you experience? The truth is, fear only has as much power as you give it. When you choose courage, you reclaim that power. One practical habit to push through fear is to create a fear action plan. When a fear arises, write it down. Then list the specific actions you can take to face it. Break those actions into small, doable steps. Commit to taking at least one action each day toward overcoming that fear. This transforms abstract worry into concrete progress. Remember that courage is not a one-time event, but a muscle you build over time. Each act of bravery makes the next one easier. The more you practice pushing through fear, the stronger and more natural it becomes. It's important to acknowledge that sometimes pushing through fear means asking for help. Courage is not about doing everything alone. It's about recognizing when you need support and having the strength to reach out. There is no weakness in seeking guidance, encouragement, or professional help if needed. Visualize your life after pushing through fear. See yourself living boldly, confidently, and fully. Feel the pride and happiness of knowing you didn't let fear stop you. Hold that vision close. It will pull you forward when fear tries to hold you back. Challenge your fear-based beliefs. Often, fear is built on assumptions that aren't true. For example, if I try, I will definitely fail, or I must be perfect to succeed. Question these thoughts. Look for evidence that contradicts them. Replace them with empowering truths. When you face fear, remind yourself that you have faced challenges before and survived. Your past resilience is proof that you can handle what comes next. Draw strength from your history of overcoming obstacles. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Fear often paralyzes us because we think we must be perfect before acting. Instead, focus on progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Embrace uncertainty. Fear thrives on the unknown, but life is always uncertain. When you learn to be comfortable with uncertainty, you reduce fear's power. Focus on what you can do now rather than trying to control every outcome. Practice mindfulness. Fear often arises from getting caught up in future worries or past regrets. Mindfulness brings you back to the present moment where you have the power to act. Set boundaries to protect your courage. Say no to distractions, negativity, and people who drain your energy. Protect your time and focus for what matters most. Keep a journal of your courageous moments. Writing down when you pushed through fear helps you see your growth and reinforces your strength. Use affirmations to build courage daily. Statements like "I am brave," "I face challenges with strength," and "fear will not stop me" rewire your brain for bravery. Remind yourself that pushing through fear is a gift you give to yourself and to the world. Your courage inspires others and creates ripple effects far beyond what you see. Know that your fears do not define you. Your actions do. Choose to define yourself as someone who acts despite fear. Be patient with yourself. Courage is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, but each one is a chance to grow stronger. Finally, keep dreaming big. Fear tries to shrink your vision, but you were made for greatness. Your dreams are worth every ounce of courage it takes to pursue them. Stand tall, take a deep breath, feel the fear and push forward anyway. You are stronger than you realize. Your future is waiting on the other side of fear. Fear is a natural companion on the road to success. It's the signpost that tells you you're stepping outside your comfort zone, where real growth happens. Comfort zones feel safe because they are familiar, but they are also cages that keep your potential locked away. When you force yourself to push through fear, you break the bars of that cage and open the door to a life filled with possibility and achievement. Every step you take through fear is a victory over the part of you that wants to stay small, to play it safe, to settle for less. Those victories accumulate over time and become a reservoir of courage that you can draw from in tougher moments. Imagine your life as a mountain climb. Fear is the steep, rocky path that makes you hesitate. But on the other side of that path is a breathtaking view, a life that you have earned by refusing to turn back. Every climber who reaches the summit has felt the weight of fear, but they kept putting one foot in front of the other. It's important to remind yourself that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the choice to act despite it. Even if your hands tremble and your voice shakes, the fact that you keep going is what defines you. The greatest acts of courage often come in the smallest moments, showing up when it's hard, saying yes when you want to say no, taking that first step when the whole journey seems daunting. Pushing through fear requires discipline. Discipline to act when you don't feel like it. Discipline to keep moving forward when doubts creep in. Discipline to remind yourself daily that your dreams deserve your courage. Develop routines and habits that support your bravery, whether it's morning affirmations, journaling your wins, or setting clear goals that keep your eyes on the prize. Fear loves isolation. It grows stronger when you face it alone. Find your tribe, people who believe in you, challenge you, and support your growth. Share your fears with them. Let their encouragement be the wind at your back as you push forward. Don't wait for fear to disappear before you act. That moment may never come. Instead, act now. Feel the fear and move forward anyway. Action is the antidote to fear. The more you act, the smaller fear becomes. There will be days when fear feels overwhelming. On those days, practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Remind yourself that fear is temporary and that courage is a habit you are building. Trust that each day brings new opportunities to be brave. Reflect on the people you admire most. They all have stories of fear and struggle. Their secret is not that they never felt afraid, it's that they did not let fear stop them. Let their stories inspire you. Know that you too can be a hero in your own story. Push through fear by focusing on your purpose. Your purpose is your North Star. When fear clouds your mind, return to your why. Why did you start? Who are you doing this for? What will achieving your goals mean for your life and others? Purpose fuels courage like nothing else. Sometimes the best way to overcome fear is to face it directly, name it, describe it, understand it. When fear is abstract, it's bigger and scarier. When you put words to it, it loses some of its power. Write down your fears, talk about them, then make a plan to address them step by step. Remember that courage is contagious. When you push through fear, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions create a ripple effect of bravery and hope in your community, your family, and beyond. Keep a journal of your journey through fear. Document your challenges, your victories, your lessons. This record will be a powerful reminder of your growth and a source of motivation when fear returns. Visualize success often. Imagine yourself having pushed through fear and achieved your goals. Feel the emotions: joy, pride, relief. Visualization trains your brain to expect success and prepares you emotionally to receive it. Be patient with your progress. Courage grows with time and practice. Some days will be easier than others. Celebrate every act of bravery, no matter how small. Surround yourself with positivity. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos that inspire courage. Fill your environment with reminders that pushing through fear is possible and rewarding. Take care of your body. Fear can feel worse when you're tired, hungry, or stressed. Prioritize rest, nutrition, and exercise to keep your mind and body strong. Remember, fear is a natural signal that you are growing. Embrace it as part of the process rather than a barrier. The path of pushing through fear is not a straight line. It will twist, turn, and sometimes feel like it's going backward. But each twist and turn is a lesson. each setback a chance to grow stronger. Do not be discouraged by the bumps along the way. Instead, see them as the sharpening stones that hone your courage and character. Fear often tries to convince you that the risk is too great, that safety lies in staying where you are. But safety without growth is a slow form of death. Life's most rewarding moments come when you dare to take risks, to reach beyond what feels comfortable and known. Risk is the price of greatness. Push through fear by cultivating resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to recover from difficulties stronger than before. Build resilience by facing challenges head on, learning from mistakes, and never losing sight of your vision. Remember, resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When fear creeps in, anchor yourself with routines that ground you. Whether it's meditation, deep breathing, prayer, or simply a walk in nature, find practices that bring you back to calm and focus. These moments of stillness help you recharge and gather the strength to face fear again. Look at fear as a teacher. What is it trying to show you? Often, fear points to areas where you need to grow, where your courage is needed most. By listening to fear, you gain valuable insights about your limits and your potential. Don't underestimate the power of small wins. Each time you face fear, no matter how small the challenge, you build momentum. These small victories create a positive cycle that propels you forward. Keep track of them, celebrate them, and let them remind you of your growing strength. Remember that pushing through fear is a journey of self-discovery. You will learn things about yourself you never knew, your resilience, your creativity, your inner power. Embrace this journey with curiosity and an open heart. Sometimes the biggest fear is the fear of success. Success can bring change, responsibility, and new challenges. If you find yourself hesitating because success feels intimidating, remind yourself that you are capable of handling it. Growth may be uncomfortable, but it leads to freedom and fulfillment. Push through fear by staying connected to your values. When your actions align with your deepest beliefs, fear loses its grip. Values are your compass in uncertain times, guiding you toward courageous choices. Practice gratitude even in the face of fear. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you of what is going well, of the support you have, and of the progress you've made. Use positive self-talk to counter fear's negative messages. When fear says you can't, respond with I can and I will. When fear says it's too hard, reply I am strong enough to handle this. Your words shape your reality. Seek inspiration from others who have pushed through fear. Read biographies, watch interviews, listen to stories of courage. Let their experiences fuel your belief that you too can overcome. Remember that pushing through fear is an act of love, for yourself and for those who depend on you. Your courage sets an example, creates opportunities, and builds a legacy. When fear tries to paralyze you, focus on your breath. Deep, slow breaths calm your nervous system and bring you back to the present moment. Breath is your anchor in the storm. Take time to reflect regularly. Ask yourself, what fears did I face this week? What did I learn? How did I grow? Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Know that courage is not about being fearless, but about being human. Fear is part of your story, not the whole story. You are more than your fears. Push through fear with persistence. Keep going day after day. Persistence wears down resistance and builds unstoppable momentum. Surround yourself with reminders of your courage. Photos, quotes, objects that symbolize your strength can motivate you when fear feels heavy. Celebrate your journey, not just the destination. The act of facing fear itself is a triumph worthy of pride. Keep your vision clear, write it down, look at it often. Let it inspire you when fear clouds your mind. Finally, believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Believe that you are meant to do great things. This belief will carry you through the toughest moments. You might wonder, how do I find the strength to keep pushing when fear feels overwhelming? The answer lies in remembering that fear is temporary, but the rewards of courage are lasting. Fear may knock loudly, but it never has the final word. When you push through it, you reclaim your power and your peace. It helps to break down your fears into manageable pieces. Often, what feels like a giant wall of fear is actually a series of smaller, more conquerable challenges. Identify these smaller fears and tackle them one by one. Each victory, no matter how small, chips away at the larger fear and builds your confidence. Remember that mistakes and failures are not marks of shame, but signs of trying. Each mistake is an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger. Don't let the fear of making a mistake keep you from taking action. The greatest achievers are those who have stumbled many times but refuse to give up. Use the power of imagination to your advantage. Imagine yourself succeeding despite fear. Picture the obstacles and see yourself overcoming them. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind and body to handle real challenges and reduces the anxiety that fear creates. Connect your courage to a higher purpose. When you push through fear to help others, to contribute to a cause bigger than yourself, your motivation becomes unstoppable. Serving a purpose greater than personal success fuels resilience and determination. In moments of fear, remind yourself that you are not alone. Everyone faces fear, everyone struggles. What separates those who succeed is their willingness to act anyway. You are part of a global community of courageous individuals pushing through fear to create better lives and a better world. Create rituals that reinforce your bravery. This could be a morning routine of affirmations, a daily journaling practice about your fears and wins, or a weekly check-in with a mentor or friend. These rituals keep your courage front and center in your life. Keep learning and improving. The more you develop your skills and knowledge, the less intimidating fear becomes. Confidence grows from competence. Take courses, read, practice, and seek feedback. The stronger you become, the easier it is to push through fear. Don't forget to celebrate your successes. When you accomplish something despite fear, take the time to acknowledge it fully. Reward yourself, share your victory, and let the positive emotions sink in. This celebration reinforces your courage and motivates you for the next challenge. Sometimes, pushing through fear means accepting uncertainty. Life will never be perfectly predictable or safe. Embrace the unknown as part of the adventure. When you do, fear loses some of its power, and you open yourself to new opportunities. Stay focused on the present moment. Fear often grows when you think too far ahead or dwell on past failures. Bring your attention back to what you can do right now. Take one step, then the next. Momentum builds from action. When self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself of your past victories. Think back to times you faced fear and succeeded. Use these memories as proof that you have what it takes. Practice compassion for yourself. Pushing through fear is hard work. It's okay to feel scared, tired, or uncertain. Treat yourself with kindness and patience. Self-compassion fuels resilience. Remember, courage is contagious. When you act bravely, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage lights the way for those around you. Your story becomes a beacon of hope and strength. Keep your goals visible. Write them down. Place reminders where you'll see them often. Your goals are your motivation to push through fear. They remind you why the struggle is worth it. Use fear as a signpost, not a stop sign. When fear arises, see it as a signal that you're growing, stretching, and moving towards something meaningful. Let fear be your guide, not your jailer. Seek out stories of courage to fuel your spirit. Read biographies, watch documentaries, listen to talks by people who have overcome fear. Their experiences will inspire and remind you that you can do this too. Trust in the process. Courage is a journey. Some days will be harder than others. Some fears will take longer to overcome. Keep going anyway. Trust that each step forward is progress. Visualize your future self, the person who has pushed through fear and achieved their dreams. Connect deeply with that vision. Let it motivate you every day. When fear threatens to overwhelm you, take a moment to breathe deeply. Slow, deliberate breaths calm your nervous system and bring clarity. Use this tool whenever you need to regain your center. Be bold in your actions. Sometimes, pushing through fear means taking risks that feel scary but are necessary. Remember that courage grows with practice. The more you act boldly, the easier it becomes. Keep a courage journal where you document every time you face fear and push through. Reading back through your entries will remind you of your strength and resilience. Every time you push through fear, you are rewriting your story. The narrative you tell yourself about who you are and what you can achieve changes. Instead of being someone held back by doubt and worry, you become a person defined by action, resilience, and courage. This new story empowers you to take on bigger challenges, dream bigger dreams, and live a life without limits. Fear often tries to trick you into thinking that if you don't feel ready, you shouldn't start. But waiting for readiness is a trap. Readiness comes through action. The moment you begin, even if you feel scared or unsure, you start building the skills, confidence, and momentum that lead to success. So start now exactly where you are. Push through fear by setting small, achievable goals that move you forward. These goals act like stepping stones, guiding you across the river of fear one step at a time. Celebrate each small victory, because each one proves to your brain that you can handle discomfort and uncertainty. It's also important to remember that fear is often based on imagined scenarios, not reality. Your mind loves to create worst case stories that rarely come true. When you notice fear spiraling, ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have? Challenge your fears with facts and rational thinking. This helps to reduce anxiety and ground you in the present. Surround yourself with positive influences, people who believe in your potential, who encourage you to keep going when fear whispers stop. Community is a powerful antidote to fear. Don't isolate yourself. Reach out and connect. Another powerful way to push through fear is to prepare thoroughly. Knowledge and preparation build confidence. When you understand what you're facing and have a plan, fear loses its grip. Equip yourself with the skills, information, and resources you need to succeed. Remember that courage is not reckless. It's not about ignoring risks or pretending fear doesn't exist. Courage is about acknowledging fear and choosing to act with wisdom and intention anyway. Use failure as a teacher, not a judge. Each setback is a lesson in disguise. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? When you shift your mindset to see failure as growth, fear of failing loses its power. Practice self-encouragement. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend who is afraid. Say things like, you've got this, one step at a time, I believe in you. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. Be patient with the process. Real courage develops over time. It's okay if progress feels slow. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Persistence beats perfection every time. Visual reminders can help keep your courage alive. Write affirmations on sticky notes. Set inspiring wallpapers on your devices, or keep a special object that symbolizes bravery close by. These reminders can anchor you when fear feels strong. Remember your why. Why do you want to push through fear? What is the vision that drives you? Reconnect with this purpose regularly. Purpose fuels courage and makes fear easier to face. Create a fear-facing ritual. It could be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths before starting a scary task, or writing down your fears and then listing actions you can take. Rituals give structure and control, which reduce anxiety. Learn from others who have gone before you. Their stories are proof that fear can be overcome. Seek mentors, read biographies, or listen to podcasts about courage and resilience. Keep your body healthy. Physical wellness supports mental strength. Regular exercise, good sleep, and healthy eating all contribute to your ability to manage fear and stress. Celebrate the courage you see in others. Encouraging others to push through their fears creates a positive cycle of bravery and support. When fear paralyzes you, move your body. Physical movement, even a short walk, can shift your mindset and energy, making it easier to act. Remember that pushing through fear opens doors to new experiences, relationships, and achievements. It expands your world. Be kind to yourself. Courage does not mean you won't feel scared or doubtful. It means you keep going despite those feelings. Finally, believe in your capacity to grow. Every time you push through fear, you build a stronger, braver version of yourself. That person is unstoppable. Stand firm, breathe deeply, feel the fear and act anyway. Your future self will thank you for it. The journey is yours. Embrace it with courage. The world is waiting for the unique gifts only you can bring. When fear comes knocking, remind yourself that it is simply a feeling, a temporary state, not a permanent condition. Feelings ebb and flow like waves in the ocean. They rise, crest, and fall. You don't have to be swept away by fear's current. You can observe it, acknowledge it, and choose to ride the wave rather than drown in it. Fear can disguise itself as a protector, trying to keep you safe by holding you back. But true safety lies in growth, in stepping into your potential. The cost of staying stuck in fear is often far greater than the risks you fear taking. When you push through fear, you reclaim your life and your freedom. Think of fear as a gatekeeper to the life you want. The gatekeeper is loud, intimidating, and tries to scare you away. But if you walk through that gate, you enter a world of new possibilities, opportunities, and breakthroughs. Courage is your key to unlocking that gate. Develop the mindset of a warrior, someone who faces battles but never loses sight of the prize. Warriors know that fear is part of the fight, not a reason to quit. They train their minds to focus on what they can control, to stay steady in the storm, and to rise again after every fall. Build a toolkit of strategies to manage fear. This might include breathing exercises, mindfulness, positive affirmations, visualization, and physical movement. The more tools you have, the better equipped you are to face fear when it appears. Remember that courage inspires courage. When you act despite fear, you show others it's possible. Your bravery creates ripples that uplift families, communities, and even strangers. You become a light that guides others through their own darkness. When fear makes your heart race or your mind spiral, slow down. Take a moment to ground yourself. Feel your feet on the ground. Take deep breaths and focus on what is real and present. Fear thrives on imagined futures. Grounding yourself brings you back to now. Push through fear by setting clear intentions. Know exactly what you want to achieve and why it matters. Intentions focus your energy and make fear less distracting. Celebrate your courage often. Keep a list of moments when you faced fear and succeeded. Read it when you doubt yourself. Let these stories remind you of your strength and resilience. Learn to laugh at fear sometimes. Humor can diffuse anxiety and remind you that fear doesn't have to be taken so seriously. It's just a part of being human. When you feel fear, ask yourself what the worst case scenario really is, and then ask, how likely is that to happen? Most fears are far less probable than our minds suggest. This reality check helps reduce anxiety. Build strong relationships that encourage your growth. Trusted friends, mentors, or coaches can provide support and accountability when fear tries to slow you down. Push through fear by taking imperfect action. Waiting for perfect conditions is often just fear disguised as procrastination. Start where you are with what you have and improve as you go. Remind yourself that the discomfort of fear is temporary, but the rewards of courage last a lifetime. The pride, the growth, the opportunities, they are yours to claim. Take care of your mental health. Fear can feel more intense when you're stressed or overwhelmed. Practices like meditation, therapy, or journaling can help keep your mind clear and focused. Use your fears as fuel, not anchors. Let them energize you to prepare, learn, and move forward rather than hold you back. Visualize yourself on the other side of fear, confident, accomplished, and free. Hold that vision close and let it inspire your steps. Know that pushing through fear builds character. You become a person who can face any challenge with grace and grit. When doubt creeps in, remember your past victories. They prove that you are stronger than your fears. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your perspective from what might go wrong to what is already good in your life. Stand in your power. You have the ability to choose courage every day. The journey to push through fear is not easy, but it is worth every step. So rise up, take a deep breath, feel the fear, and move forward anyway. There will be moments when fear feels like a shadow lurking at every corner, whispering doubts into your ear. In those moments, remind yourself that fear is a signal that you are stepping into something important, something that matters deeply to your growth and your future. The bigger the dream, the louder the fear. That's natural. It's a sign you are on the right path. When fear threatens to freeze you, remember that action is your antidote. Movement breaks the spell. Even the smallest step forward weakens fear's grip. Take that step, then another. Momentum builds with each action until fear no longer controls your choices. Keep a fearless mindset by embracing curiosity. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, become curious about what you can learn and discover. Curiosity transforms fear into an adventure, a challenge to solve rather than a barrier to stop you. Surround yourself with reminders of your why, the reason behind your push. Photos, quotes, letters to yourself, anything that keeps your purpose clear and vivid. When fear clouds your mind, return to your why to reignite your passion and courage. Practice self-talk that empowers. Replace I can't with I will try. This is too hard with I'm learning. And I'm afraid with I'm brave. Your inner voice is your most powerful ally or enemy. Train it to be your champion. Visualize success in vivid detail. Imagine the sights, sounds, and feelings of achieving your goal. This mental rehearsal prepares you emotionally and physically, reducing fear's intensity and increasing your confidence. Remember that no one is fearless. Every great leader, artist, athlete, and innovator has faced fear and pushed through it. Their courage was not the absence of fear, but their decision to act despite it. Build resilience by embracing challenges as opportunities. Each obstacle is a stepping stone toward your strength and wisdom. When you change your perspective, fear loses its power to stop you. When fear tells you to quit, remind yourself of how far you've come. Reflect on your journey, your progress, and the effort you've invested. Use this reflection as fuel to keep going. Create a support system of people who uplift and encourage you. Share your fears with trusted friends or mentors who can provide perspective and motivation. You don't have to face fear alone. Push through fear by setting clear, achievable goals. Break your big dreams into smaller, manageable tasks. Completing these tasks builds confidence and reduces overwhelm. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack or fear to what you have and appreciate. This shift creates a positive mindset that weakens fear's hold. When fear paralyzes you, ground yourself in the present. Focus on your breath, the sensations in your body, or the sounds around you. Being present reduces anxiety and increases your ability to act. Learn to celebrate progress, not perfection. Every step forward is a victory. Fear often demands perfection, but progress is what leads to success. Push through fear with perseverance. Persistence is the bridge between fear and achievement. Keep moving, even when it's hard. Remember that courage grows with use. The more you face fear, the more natural courage becomes. Each act of bravery makes the next one easier. Keep your vision clear and compelling. Write it down, draw it, or create a vision board. Let your vision inspire you every day. Use setbacks as lessons. Instead of fearing failure, analyze what went wrong and how to improve. This mindset turns fear into a guide. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. Physical well-being supports mental strength. Exercise, nutrition, and rest all contribute to your ability to handle fear. Practice mindfulness to increase your awareness of fear without judgment. Mindfulness helps you observe fear calmly, reducing its intensity. Develop rituals that prepare you for facing fear. Whether it's meditation, affirmations, or visualization, rituals build mental strength. Trust yourself. Believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Self-trust is the foundation of courage. Remember, pushing through fear is an act of love, for yourself and for those who believe in you. Sometimes fear disguises itself as a whisper of doubt, a small voice telling you to play it safe, to settle for less, to avoid the unknown. But remember, every great breakthrough in history was born from someone who refused to listen to that whisper. They chose to listen to the voice of possibility instead. That voice, the one urging you to try, to leap, to believe, is the truest reflection of your potential. When you feel fear creeping in, practice the habit of naming it. Say out loud or in your mind, "This is fear." By labeling it, you distance yourself from it, reducing its power over you. Fear loses its grip when you refuse to feed it with silence and secrecy. Push through fear by building your courage muscle, just like a physical muscle. Start with small acts of bravery every day, speaking up in a meeting, trying a new activity, making a difficult phone call. These small victories accumulate, strengthening your ability to face bigger fears. Surround yourself with inspiration, books, podcasts, music, and people who embody courage can fuel your spirit when your own resolve feels thin. Create a collection of stories and resources that you can turn to when fear strikes. Create a mantra that grounds you. Something simple like, "I am braver than my fears," or "Fear is just a feeling, not a fact." Repeat it whenever fear tries to steal your confidence. Remember that fear often fades once you start moving. The anticipation is usually worse than the reality. Once you take action, even if it's imperfect, fear's hold loosens and confidence grows. Push through fear by practicing radical self-acceptance. Accept that fear is part of the process, and that it's okay to feel vulnerable. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. Celebrate your bravery in every form. Courageous acts aren't always grand gestures. Sometimes they're quiet, personal victories. Getting out of bed on a tough day, speaking your truth, setting boundaries. These moments matter. When you stumble or fall, be quick to forgive yourself and get back up. Self-compassion is a crucial part of pushing through fear. It keeps you from getting stuck in shame or regret. Visualize fear as a dragon or monster standing between you and your goal. Now imagine yourself as a hero, equipped with tools, strength, and allies, ready to face it. This imaginative exercise can empower your mindset and prepare you to act. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Your dreams and goals are your guiding stars. We